December 2020. Kevin Owens has emerged as the newest challenger for Roman Reigns' Universal Championship, and over the 4-week build to their match, he managed to get under Roman's skin like no other opponent has. In the build to TLC, KO called Roman a hypocrite and a coward, and someone who uses his family as pawns to get what he wants. After multiple brutal attacks on Owens by Roman and Jay, KO refused to go away, culminating with the go home angle where KO was beaten and buried by tables, ladders, and chairs, only to emerge from the rubble to say, "I'm going to win the Universal Championship,
or I'm gonna die trying."
How will everything go down at TLC 2020? It's time to rewind the Bloodline. If you are new here to the channel, make sure that you subscribe, drop a like, and comment what you are liking here on the Bloodline Rewind. It's the best way to support. And we left off last week's episode with KO being buried, literally, by Roman and Jay. And as the two walked to the back, KO crawled out of the pile and basically told Roman that he's going to have to kill him to beat him. I have waited all week to watch and talk about this match, so why don't you get us kicked off, Goose?
Yeah, we are at the December 20th, 2020 TLC show, coming to you live from the Thunderdome at Tropicana Field. We start here with some spunky piano, and there's text on the screen that goes from "the end of the year is here," that changes to "the end is here." We then get Roman's voiceover calling himself the protector, a provider, demanding that he's acknowledged as your tribal chief. And then we cut to him standing over Owens. We cut into Owens screaming that he doesn't fear Roman and he fears no one. Put the title on the line. We'll settle it like men. And then we go back to Roman simply saying, "I'm going to end you."
We finish the intro package with a Bray Wyatt laugh. And now WWE Supercard presents tables, ladders, and chairs. And this opening package was excellent, but no part of me wants to see this Fiend match.
You're better off for it, dude. You're better off for it. Maybe we'll get to it later. So Tom Phillips tells us that tonight we close out the year with
intensity and carnage.
Tom Phillips. I was not expecting Tom Phillips to kick us off. You know it is a B show and Tom Phillips is walking around. But these generations of NYE that will be talking about this show forever, and it's just Tom Phillips on the B show.
Yep. Your kids are going to be greeted with Tom Phillips' voice whenever they come back to rewatch this show, Kevin Owens. So the show kicks off with AJ versus Drew in a TLC match. And dude, I wrote, "Oh no, we are about 34 minutes in and Mike the Miz has just cashed in his briefcase for the championship." Dude, he's climbing the ladder and Omos, hero of all heroes, is here. He picks the Miz up like a child and he just tosses him through a table onto the outside. Morrison is in the ring. He tries to hit Omos with a chair. Omos no-sells it and walks out Michael Myers style, stalking Morrison. And now I'm thinking, we got the heavy out. Morrison did his duty. Here we go. Crown the Miz. And we get some great drama with Drew and AJ fighting on the ladder. The Miz runs in. I'm so ready for him to knock the ladder off with those two guys up on it and climb up and get it himself. Drew somehow survives AJ and the Miz and retains. This is the most Mandela effect thing that I've seen since we've started watching this, because if I had $1,000 in my pocket, I'd have put all 1,000 down that said that Miz was walking out of here the champion.
And after that match, we cut backstage and Kayla introduces the man who serves as special counsel to Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman. Kayla quotes KO saying he was going to win the Universal Championship or die trying. Has this changed Roman's preparation? And Paul checks Kayla out and says,
"Aesthetics over competency, I see once again."
Dude, I was dead.
Unbelievable. He oversold checking her out so much. that line immediately afterwards was something else, dude. So Paul says,
why don't I just reveal our strategy to Kevin Owens?
here's the question you should be asking. And then in this very bad Kayla voice, he goes,
Mr. Heyman, are you a sports fan? Yes, I am.
yes, I am, Kayla. Do you know what my favorite sport is outside of WWE?
Paul Heyman says
NASCAR. You know why?
I knew that was going to send you into orbit, dude. I knew that was going to send you to orbit because I don't care who wins. I like the car crashes.
That's the type of sick individual that I am.
And Paul then says that this profession is a sick one and people get hurt. He says tonight people jump off ladders, through tables, and propelled by chairs.
Are not only encouraged, but they're legal.
And someone is going to get hurt. And the person who is going to get hurt is Kevin Owens.
At the purposeful hands of your tribal chief,
the undisputed heavyweight universal champion,
Roman Reigns.
And that's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Unbelievable, man. This guy's gold. And Paul and Kayla, I hope that I know it's going to eventually, but don't take this away from me, WWE. Like it's so good.
It is.
So here's another big surprise. The TLC match with AJ and Drew was excellent, dude. It was. Finish was great, and I was completely just dumbfounded at the finish. How about this? Charlotte and Asuka win the tag titles on this show. When did that ever happen?
Dude, I don't even remember that happening. I didn't even know they were a tag team.
You want your mind double blown?
Yeah.
Charlotte mystery replaces Lana. It was supposed to be Asuka and Lana on this show, dude.
There is so much going on in the show.
I have no idea what kind of wormhole 2020 WWE is, but it is something else. So we then go from that to that 2020 getting beat down in 2021 run-in video again. And while this is on, even my kid goes, what is this? She's 8. This was over the top for her. So after Sammy, R-Truth, and a Big E segment, it's finally time.
The video package unfortunately starts with,
but this is my yard.
But it immediately goes to the rest of Roman's "This is my WWE" promo. We cut to KO's initial challenge and then his "I have a few friends" promo, finishing with "I will get to the top of the ladder," and then getting whacked by Jay and then destroyed by Roman.
Yeah, and as we see all the KO beatings, Roman's voiceover of
"Acknowledge me"
is juxtaposed with these images of KO still coming. And then we cut to Roman acknowledging that Kevin Owens is different, that he won't understand. And then we get the massive heat angle that we close SmackDown with KO emerging from the pile of rubble to say that nothing Roman or his family can do to him will stop him or keep him down. And he's going to get that Universal title or die trying. And then they show these side-by-side faces of Roman and KO on screen. Pop me to the moon, dude. Roman is the coolest the cool, and KO is like
This package showing that it's Roman's WWE, I thought was a perfect encapsulation of everything that we've done here on the Bloodline Rewind. It perfectly showed how Roman turned his character into the tribal chief and how he treats Jay and how he just wants to be acknowledged. And then you have Owens and the ultimate opponent to go against the grain for everything. This was perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, it was excellent. So Roman's music hits first, and there are ladders, tables, and chairs adorning the entire ringside area.
We can clearly see that the TLC budget was not cut like the water coolers were in 95.
Lean times then, not here.
And so Roman is flanked by Paul, who is extremely focused on his tribal chief. And Cole says tonight is about beating down the defiance that lives inside Kevin Owens. And Graves says that Roman feels disrespected, and tonight KO will learn to fear him. Cole lastly puts over KO for calling Roman a hypocrite and a coward who uses his family as pawns.
And Roman's slowly strolling to the ring. He looks down and back up, completely cool, calm, and collected. And Paul, as always, he's just looking at Roman the entire time. And as Roman enters, there's a man with a gray beard that is on hard cam Zoom screen that I'm assuming is just repeating curse word after curse word into his webcam, dude. I was dying at this.
There is a lot of great individuals that you see here, and like I didn't notice them back then, but they are so noticeable now when you watch these shows. Those video boards are incredible.
Well, and especially every time you stop to rewind, like you know what I mean? Your eyes just kind of wander and then you just find a new treasure. It's wonderful.
So Roman walks in, hands over his belt, and Roman is wearing the gold gauntlet again, and I love that. Roman is going through his methodical pre-match, watching the belt raise when KO jumps him out of nowhere.
Yeah, he catches Roman with the right, and then he's laying in rights and lefts. He stomps a mud hole into Roman in the corner, goes to the other corner. He's throwing rights again, more stomps, and then he hits a rolling somersault into the corner. So a huge start here.
I thought that that was a great call, though, because Owens needs literally every advantage that he can get. And back-to-back pay-per-views, we're seeing Roman in peril, and he actually looks mortal.
Yeah, good call. KO throws Roman into the barricade, so he's continuing the carnage here. He hits another somersault onto Roman against the barricade. He grabs Roman, he throws him into the steps. KO then goes up to the apron. He hits a frog splash to Roman on the floor. And like you said, absolutely love this start. There was only one chance that Owens had, and it wouldn't have been in a fair fight. It had to be to jump him. And he's got such babyface fire, dude. Kevin Owens grabs the ladder while Roman's down on the outside. And as he comes into the ring, Jay now hits the ring.
So KO hits Jay with a super kick and immediately takes Jay down. Grabs
This was great.
Yep. He whacks him right in the back. And then Roman gets one for good measure. And Jay helping and immediately getting chaired, it pops me to the moon because it just goes back to everything that we've been saying the last couple episodes here. Jay needs heel tactics to do anything. He fails at everything. When he tries to be a good guy, he fails at it every single time.
And the reason that Kevin Owens works as this kind of babyface is because he's not stupid.
Yeah.
He has been attacked and double teamed for a month now.
Right.
So him being ready for the onslaught was excellent. A guy that did his homework.
Yes.
Really good stuff. So the other thing I need to say is I know that they pipe in the sound here, but dude, with this start, if this was live, I really feel like this crowd would have been going absolutely banana here. Like this was hot stuff.
But with no disqualifications, you knew that.
So Jay goes to KO super kick on the outside. And I love this spot, dude. KO smashes Jay's foot with a chair mid-kick. Nice. KO then hits Jay again, and while Jay's down, he Pillmanizes Jey Uso's ankle with the chair, and then KO starts clearing off the announce table.
The Geeks come out, and they take Jay to the back, and KO goes up onto the apron. Roman springs out of nowhere, and he hits KO with a drive-by. So Owens being so focused on Jay was enough for Roman to finally regain control of this match.
Yeah, again, good psychology so far. Roman then grabs the monitor guard. He smashes KO with it. Roman then grabs the steps, takes him upside KO's face twice. Then he bashes KO's midsection with the steps. Roman then yeets these steps like 10 feet away. Like, this was very impressive.
Jeez, oh my God, get the hell out of the way.
This was the opposite of that step throw into the Hell in a Cell, if you can recall.
Yes, and the way that he just tossed them like they were garbage, it was insane. Like I was not expecting it, and the way that he just went right over the.
You know what it said to me was adrenaline. Yeah. Like it was that was like that real fight or flight fire where he could have sent those things into the video boards if he wanted to. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And the thing that I got to put over here is Heyman's face while all of this carnage is going on. This dude at ringside, just give him all of the awards. Roman then throws Kevin Owens back into the ring. He grabs another ladder. So now we have two of them in the ring. Roman's beating KO with the ladder. And now he's working over KO's chest and ribs with the ladder. This is getting brutal.
Roman steps outside. He grabs two chairs, throws one in, grabs the other. He hits KO in the back. And then KO grabs the other chair, tries to cover up himself, and Roman just bashes the chair out of Owens' hands, and he goes off on Owens with shots. And I thought this was a nice touch because Kevin is going to do anything he can to win the title, but Roman is going to make him understand why he's the tribal chief, why you need to acknowledge him. And I thought this was great.
Yeah, Roman must have been working him really stiff when this is going on, though, because that last shot that he gave KO with the chair was a real brotherly shot. That was the kind of chair shot that I would give you in a Home Depot. Do you know what I mean? Like, so Roman then sets up two chairs side by side, not the Darby Allin style, though. Like, so we have the flat end, and he goes to pick up Owens for a Samoan drop. Owens reverses, goes for a power bomb, but Roman reverses that and back body drops Kevin Owens into both chairs.
So Roman throws KO to the outside and methodically picks up and sets up a ladder. So Roman starts to climb. KO runs in, nails Roman with two chair shots, and Roman is off the ladder, and KO gives him two more. KO sets up a chair, and he hits Roman with a fisherman bomb into the chair. I did not have Roman taking his bump like that, like ever.
Yeah.
And now KO, who says to Roman,
You're making me do this.
Stealing Roman's line. Great stuff. And this is one of those things, dude. You want to know, does Roman respect KO? Like when the cameras are off?
Right.
Him taking that bump said to me, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? Like, this guy's a dude.
It's true.
Because,
I didn't think about that because as soon as he did it, I was like, oh my God, did he just do something that they weren't supposed to do? Because you never see Roman put in spots like that.
Right. And so it's respect and trust, man. And that's really cool to see. And good on Roman for taking that and coming back up like a cyborg. So KO starts to climb up, gets his hand on the belt, and Jey Uso on one foot runs down and pulls KO down. The two are now trading blows. KO boots Jey in the bad foot. So KO's getting the upper hand of the exchange when Roman nails KO with the Superman punch. They push the ladder into the corner. Now Jay's bringing in a table, and Jey is struggling to get these tables in. Like, he is selling, but at the same time, you could tell that these weren't God at Tables Are Us. You know what I mean? They had a little bit more weight to them. So now we have two in the ring, and dude, my one little gripe here, Jey should have a walking boot on or something right now. Like, I did not like that he ran down and then is pulling tables into the ring after his ankle just got Pillmanized. It should have been hit it with the K shot and let it go.
So they did do something. They did like an ankle spat. Like they wrapped his foot. I did notice it, but I feel like a walking boot might have told more of a story. I agree with you.
I feel like that anytime you basically like no sell a Pillmanize, I hate it, man. I really do. Like, I feel like if anything is Pillmanized, you should IRL be out for weeks in storyline, at least a couple of weeks.
Right.
And in terms of this, dude, you should be done for the night. Again, I thought hitting the foot with the chair was great. Attacking the foot was great. I didn't like the Pillmanize for Jey to be this involved in the match then.
The only reason I caught that was because they caught his foot on the way into the ring. And I was like, oh, okay, well, they actually did tape it. So if you weren't looking for that, because they used white tape on Air Force One, so it's kind of see. So,
and the announcers could have helped too, because that was something that I did not hear them put over. You know, that would have been nice.
Right. We're now setting up two tables, one in the corner set up regular style, and then the other is stood up in the corner. Roman drives his foot into KO's face, grabs KO by the beard. Roman goes to throw KO into Jey for a Samoan drop into the table, and KO nails Jey. He hits Roman, super kicks Jey, and then he hits a stunner on Roman.
What a sequence. So the cousins roll out. KO's dragging a ladder into the middle of the ring. He starts the climb, but Jey grabs his foot and pulls him to the outside. The two start trading blows, and then KO nails Jey with a pop-up power bomb through the table. KO then takes the announce table pieces and buries Jey underneath it. Nice callback to that angle. Really nice callback. But man, did I pop huge for him then throwing the announcer's chair onto that pile of rubble. Yes. Holy cow.
So KO then climbs to the top of the ladder, gets his hand on the belt again, but is cut off by Roman, who gets halfway up and starts nailing KO with shots. Roman then gets off, pulls KO down. KO goes for a kick, but Roman catches it, and then he power bombs KO onto a ladder. The bumps that KO is taking here was absurd. This spot was great.
And not only that, dude, guy just did this 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Did
Yeah.
the same thing.
Yeah.
My Lord, he's cut from a different cloth. So bad gets worse because Roman then picks up Owens, gives him a side suplex spine first into the side of the ladder. Roman is now shaking with anger. He takes KO outside, picks him up and choke slams him through a table. And the worst part of that was there were 2 chairs set up on the table for the aesthetic, and one of them cracks KO. That had to suck. Roman then picks up the announcer's chair and nails KO with it, and that had to suck worse.
Oh, that thing was stiff coming in there. That thing looked like for real.
It had to weigh 150 pounds. And you know what? And if it didn't, it looked like it did. Like, that was brutal.
Owens is dead. And Paul is just looking on with his hands on the steps and gives Roman, yep, I think that'll do.
It went from being completely like, oh my, this shock and awe to, yeah, all right, yeah, our work here is done. Good call by you, man. Loved it. So Roman walks back in, and then he's going up this ladder way too slow.
Yeah,
he's an arm's length away. Yeah, it's just telegraphed right here. But I did like the way that this was shot, because right whenever he reaches up, he looks down and KO is grabbing his pant leg.
Yes.
And maybe the best part of this is that Roman then just laughs.
Like, what the hell do I got to do to take this guy out?
He just starts cackling and crawls back down the ladder. And now he's just trash talking KO. You're embarrassing your family now, this and that. He starts giving Owens these taunting slaps. KO clocks him with the right, and all that does is infuriates Roman, and he spears KO through a table.
So KO goes to the outside. He's still flopping around selling. Roman looks at him with disbelief as KO says, "You have to kill me." Roman goes to spear KO through the barricade at full speed. KO gets out of the way, and Roman absolutely obliterates this barricade into a bajillion pieces.
Yeah, this was very, very impressive. So
Yes.
KO gets back into the ring. He's now making his ascent. You think Roman's down and out. That's the only way to beat the beast. He has his arms on the top step. He gets a hand on the belt again. This is like the 3rd or 4th time. But this time, Roman's back in the ring to grab him and cut him off. Roman grabs Kevin Owens by the side of the head. He bashes him face first into the side of the ladder.
KO fires up, hits Roman with a pair of super kicks. He goes for a pop-up powerbomb, but Roman hits him with a Superman punch. KO bounces back off the ropes. He gets Roman up and pop-up powerbombs him through the table.
Excellent spot here again, man. This drama, this whole thing, this is great. KO's now making another climb up the ladder. He now has his hand fully on the belt. So we've gone from brushing to fingertips to the hand is on the belt, but Jay is now halfway up the ladder with him. KO is nailing Jay with headbutts. He gets off the ladder with Jay, hits Jay with the stunner, and starts the climb again.
And KO is literally at the top. Title is in his hands again, and Roman is now back on the ladder and nails KO with a low blow. Roman then gets KO into a guillotine choke at the top of the ladder. Owens goes out. Roman reaches and unhooks that title belt, and Roman retains. This was incredible. There was so many, like you just said, ebbs and flows to this match. You were up and down constantly, especially at the finish. This match was incredible.
Yeah, you got it right, dude. Paul comes to the ring. He's just wearing the biggest smile you've ever seen, and he's just speaking his adulations to Roman. And this one's officially over. There is no post-match angle, nothing, none of that. And as you said, this was incredible. To me, this is a 4.5 to 4 3/4 star match, equal to, but not better than Roman versus Drew, even with all the plunder, even with the interference, the drama, the spots, the bumps these guys were taking. I was all the way in on this one. What do you give it, John?
Can't give it better than the Survivor Series match, so I'm gonna go 4.5. And this might be my favorite TLC match I think I've ever watched myself personally.
It certainly is the best one-on-one TLC match I've ever seen.
Yes,
I can easily say that.
Yes, easily best singles TLC match I've ever watched. Goose, what has washed up on Dirt Sheet Beach this week?
So it was, again, a pretty bare island here, but Meltzer said from a dramatic standpoint, this match was among WWE's best matches of the year. He gave it 4.5 stars. And one thing that I need to note is that this issue was the one where Kevin Green's obituary was written. And I love that guy, dude. Loved him with the Steelers. He was a great Carolina Panther. It broke my heart to see him go. And then he was incredible in Dub C Dub. So RIP Kevin Green. All right, John. So who's on our island of relevancy this week?
Well, I'm going to tell you what's not on the island of relevancy, and that is that Velcro pull as Roman is pulling that belt off, that Velcro strap. I hated that. So what I am putting on the island of relevancy is this TLC match itself. We just said that it's our favorite TLC singles match that we've ever seen. But I think the reason that that works so well is because this didn't just feel like a TLC match just for the sake of having a TLC match. This was a blood feud and it felt real. It felt great. I loved it.
Yeah. Yeah, and cosign. And the most important thing is, like you said, so many times, especially in late teens, actually through the teens and early 2020s, these were calendar matches.
Right.
And they, they're guilty of it now. They just did it with War Games with the women, for example. We got to have a women's War Games. Let's throw some people together. This one timed perfectly, booked perfectly, angles great. Loved it, man. Belongs on the island.
What are you putting on the Ocean of Obscurity, Goose?
Said it before, and this was something that I can't get over. I should say before we get into it, I'm going to actually exempt the Firefly Inferno match, as it'd be too easy to throw that in. And into the Ocean of Obscurity, I shall toss in Pillmanizing Jay's foot, especially when he ended up being such a big part of this match for so much longer. I loved attacking the foot with the chair. I thought that it was great to shorthand Jay. I just do not like something that should take someone out for an extended period of time, taking a guy out for 20 minutes.
I agree 100%. We did the taping, but it wasn't enough. I don't think there was enough selling on Jay's end to really put it over for the fact that he got Pillmanized.
And for further context, before we wrap it up, Drew McIntyre in that match injured his knee, and Drew was climbing up the ladder, literally jumping with one foot.
Right.
Jey Uso was not jumping up the ladder with one foot trying to get KO down. Do you know what I mean?
Right, I agree.
One person sold like a pro and one sold, but he didn't sell Pillmanizing. So into the ocean you go.
So that is part 12 of the Bloodline Rewind. It was TLC 2020. Next week, we will be doing the fallout from TLC 2020. So we will be on our normal schedule of covering the 2 SmackDowns that follow this show, and then we'll be right into Royal Rumble season. We are now turning over a new calendar year here in the Bloodline Rewind. We are heading into 2021, so we are excited about that. Make sure that you subscribe and you drop a like and leave a comment of everything that you're liking here that we're doing on the channel. It really helps us out. So with that, I'm Johnny Bake Show.
I'm Teddy Mongoose.
And we just called it in the ring.